Good morning, everyone. I'm Dave. Welcome back to the wee hours where I suffer from periodic bouts of insomnia and play games to pass the time. Today in Fighting Fantasy, we are going to start Steve Jackson's Starship Traveller because we had absolutely no luck with Caverns of the Snow Witch if you've been watching for the past couple of weeks. So let's start Starship Traveller, probably the second most requested one I've been asked to do. In the comments, on Twitter and whatnot, a lot of people wanted to see this, so here we are. Let's get stuck into Steve Jackson's sci-fi fighting fantasy with Starship Traveller. So, as always, we will be doing this in classic mode, as we do with every fighting fantasy, which is how the author intended it to be. Having served as a dedicated officer of the Astro Navy for many years, your experience and skill has been rewarded with your promotion to captain. Well, excellent, good. So, captain, we actually get to pick a name here. All right. Well, let's not overthink this. We'll just be Captain Dave. That seems fine. And gender, whatever, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. It doesn't really matter. Okay, now the standard skills: stamina, skill, and luck. Hoping for some good dice rolls here. Come on, what do we got? Oh, nice start right there, 9, so stamina of 21. I do like the glowing sci-fi dice, by the way. That is nice. Oh, excellent skill. Okay, good. I'm already feeling better about this than I was about Caverns of the Snow Witch. So we got a skill of 12. We ain't getting any better than that. How about luck? Oh, luck not so good. Luck not so good. All right, luck of 7. That's fine. I think we can coast on our skill and stamina. Head to the Admiral's quarters for briefing. Yes. You arrive at the Admiral's quarters to receive your mission briefing. Admiral Jackson, your superior, enters and you salute. He explains your mission, your main goal being to seek out new planets and explore uncharted sectors of the galaxy. As the Astro Navy's newest captain, you are assigned to Starship. Admiral Jackson directs you to choose from the following. We can take the Starship Traveller, or we can choose our own starship. No, let's just take the Starship Traveller. That's fine. I mean, that is kind of the title of the book. You decide to take the Traveller and perform a routine diagnostics check. Oh, so the ship itself has its own stats. All right, so weapon strength? Oh, that's not so good. Starship Traveller is not so much good with the guns and the lasers and the whatnot, so that's a strength of 7. How about shields? Can we at least have good defense? Oh, wow, no. No, okay, that's another roll of 1. Okay, we do not have a good ship. So let's just keep that in mind. Let's try and avoid space combat if we can. With the diagnostics check complete, you and the Admiral are satisfied that the Traveller is in perfect working order. Follow Admiral Jackson to assemble your crew. Admiral Jackson offers you 2 choices when assembling the crew of the Starship Traveller. We can get right to the action and take the Admiral's recommendation, or be more strategic and handpick your own crew. Sure. Let's handpick our own crew. Why not? Choose our science officer. Okay. Oh, we're doing names again. All right. Okay. Well, with any RPG-like thing, I go in one of 2 directions when doing names. I either do hardcore, full-on Renaissance Fair-esque naming, stout, drunken, dwarfen foot hammer, under the mountain, or I just do things that are immediately within my visible line of sight, and I think that's what we're going to do here today. So this will be Kitty, because I'm staring at my cat right now. So that is our science officer's name, is Kitty. Good. And Kitty's come up before, actually. If anyone has watched the Stellar Tactics series, we had Dr. Kitty, and now Kitty is our science officer. So I like to think that after Stellar Tactics, Dr. Kitty just moved on to a different job on the Starship Traveller. Gender, well, Dr. Kitty is a male, so we do have to keep going with that. Skilled in advanced technology, chemistry, and many forms of language, they are an invaluable member of your team. When exploring new terrain, they can offer crucial advice and prove to be a useful sounding board to your own ideas. Okay, so each one of these is going to get their own stats. All right, so your stamina is mid-range, okay, and your skill is not bad at all. So a skill of 10, and it's your science skill, not necessarily your combat skill. Okay, continue to assemble the crew. The medical officer. Medical officer, what is in with my immediate line of sight right now? It is medical officer drinking glass. Can we get all of that in there? Yes, we can. Medical officer drinking glass. It's an unusual name, to be sure, and there is a long history to that name, but I don't have the time to tell you that. They can be female. Let's diversify the crew here a little bit. Your medical officer is well-versed in biology, physiology, and medical treatment. Okay, and let's get their stats up and running. Okay, oh, that was almost a bad roll that turned into a good roll. Medical stamina is 21. Okay, skill, yeah, a 9. Fine, that's fine. Could be worse, could be better. Continue to assemble our crew. How many more people are? Engineering officer. Okay, engineering officer, what is your name going to be? You will be engineering officer table lamp. That is your name right there. You can also be female. Let's keep it diverse around here. Well-versed in all things mechanical, your engineering officer is an asset to the crew. They can make repairs, create machines, and are knowledgeable in the workings of your starship. Okay, your stats are mid-range, so that's a stamina of 18 and a skill of... Oh, that almost was a good roll that turned into a bad roll. Engineering skill of 7. You're a terrible engineer. You're a terrible engineer. Why have I hired you? How many more people have we got to hire here? Security officer. Okay, security officer dartboard. Yeah, that is your name. It's actually a Swedish name. Not many people know that, but yeah, he's actually from Sweden. You can be male, seeing as I just said that you're a he. Eager for battle and ready to resolve any of your problems with their fists. Well, really? You don't have like a laser or anything? That would probably be a good thing to have. Your security officer is skilled in combat. Security officer and guards are your first choice for battle, as all other crew. Okay, all other crew receive a -3 skill penalty during combat. So basically everyone sucks at combat except the security officer. So you better get some good stats here, buddy. 7, could be worse. All right, how about your skill? Not so good. Not so good. That's an 8, so you're actually not very good at this. Okay, next you're introduced to your 2 security guards, handpicked by security officer dartboard. Oh, it actually puts it right in there. That's so neat. Security officer dartboard. Glancing at them, you honestly cannot tell them apart. They are both wearing red shirts. What a surprise. First security officer. Okay, I'm actually kind of regretting having to handpick all my own crew at this point. You're going to be security officer tissue, and you can be... female, and what are your stats? You've got a 6, okay, and a 4. That's not bad. All right, skill of 10 there. And you can be security officer tissue 2. Okay. And actually the number 2, not the word 2. It's a very unusual name. And you can be male... you have a stamina of... Oh, you got a good stamina. All right, 22 on your stamina. Excellent. How about your skill? An 8. All right, okay. Do I have any more crew? No. Okay. Admiral Jackson hands you a tiny bundle of fur. It is a small white cat. Oh, yay, I got a kitty. The Admiral explains that one of the most important parts of the mission is to research the effects of interstellar travel on pets. Really? That just sounds like animal abuse, Mr. Jackson. And their ability to withstand artificial gravity over long periods of time. The cat's name is... Oh, geez, I already used up Kitty. Darn it. Well, actually, technically, according to our vet, my cat's name is Tux, although no one has ever called him that. He's just called Kitty, so that can be your name. Really? Can I not use that? Okay. With your brave crew of the Starship Traveller, you give Admiral Jackson a salute. The Admiral gives one final look at the ship's cat and says, "Take good care of Tux. Godspeed, Captain Dave." I do like the fact they put all the names into the written dialogue. Suddenly bursting in and out of breath, a young man arrives. He apologizes profusely to the Admiral for his delay. Admiral Jackson informs you that this ensign is a son of an important senator and will be accompanying you on the mission. Oh, I'm going to get him killed. Really? I got to name somebody again? All right, the ensign's name is... can I fit in gonna get ya killed? Yes, I can. So the ensign's name is Gonna Get You Killed. And we are finally ready to set off. You take your seat on the bridge and prepare yourself for the adventure ahead. Panic! Oh, Lord, that started out dramatically. From your seat at the helm of the Starship Traveller, you study the VDU anxiously. Engineering section has reported an overdrive malfunction, which has locked the warp engines at a 10% velocity gain. So we're just rapidly accelerating. You are watching the velocity indicator advancing rapidly through the safe region towards overload. You hit the communicator button and call engineering for further news. It is not good. The malfunction cannot be traced, and it will take another 13 minutes for a system check to provide a full analysis. You are heading towards the Seltsian Void, a known black hole. You may or may not avoid it, but Science Officer Kitty has another plan. If you swing the ship through its immense gravitational pull, its gravity drag may help reduce your speed as you travel away from it. This is worth a try, but the navigational tuning will have to be precise. You swing the starship hard to starboard as you enter the Seltsian's gravitational field and fasten your eyes on the velocity indicator. To your great relief, the plan seems to be working. The gain comes down from 10% to 5% to 0 to minus 5%. Loud cheers come from the crew, but you are still watching the velocity indicator. It is now showing minus 15%, then minus 25%, and still falling. The Traveller is being sucked into the Seltsian Void. You hit the red alert button and instruct all ship's personnel to strap themselves down. The ship begins to whine and shake as it rapidly accelerates towards the black hole. There is nothing you can do to avert the impending disaster. An almighty explosion rocks the ship. All the crew, including you, lose consciousness. You and the other members of the crew are regaining consciousness. Again, you hit the communicator and call for systems damage reports. All systems appear to be intact until engineering reports that the warp drive engines are dead. You are floating in space, but your drive reactors should be operational in 20 to 30 minutes. Your navigation officer is bewildered. He cannot identify your whereabouts, and the computer reports you are in uncharted space. Science Officer Kitty has run an event analysis, and you appear to have gone through the black hole, through a dimension warp, and you are now in what seems to be a parallel universe. After some delay, you regain warp drive. Long-range scan indicates 3 solar systems ahead, of which 2 may have intelligent life. What are your orders, Captain? Set course for the life-bearing system ahead, set course for the life-bearing system on the port side, or set course for the barren system on the starboard side? Well, let's just go full steam ahead to the life-bearing system ahead of us. You increase speed towards a dull blue planet and start to orbit it. Short-range scanners indicate that it's a life-bearing planet. The most heavily populated area appears to be a city in the center of a large island. What are your orders? Beam down to the city center or leave orbit and continue onwards? Well, let's see what's in the city center. That seems like a good thing to be doing. Assemble your crew for the dull blue planet with the city in the center of the large island. Let's see. Who do we want to take with us? Let's take, certainly, Security Officer Dartboard. No question. Yes. And do I have a limit to... Let's take... How many of these people can I take? Can I just take everyone? Is that a thing I can do? I'm not sure. Let's take Science Officer Kitty. I feel like he would be more valuable on the barren planet. Let's take the Medical Officer. Yes. And let's take Security Guard Tissue 2. Let's take him. And that's it. Okay, so we can take 3 people. That answers my question. All right, so... 2 security and 1 medical officer. Let's see what that does. When you have made your selection, continue to beam down to the planet. Yep. You materialize on the planet's surface and look around. You're in a wide street of some kind, which is completely deserted. Buildings of sorts line the street, and behind you, a large building stands at the end of the road. The buildings are strange structures. They are a multitude of shapes and sizes, and all look incomplete. Continue down the road looking for signs of life, approach the large building behind you, or try one of the smaller buildings. Let's be a little circumspect here and try one of the smaller buildings, see if we can get a bead on what's going on here. You arrive at an odd-shaped building with rounded walls. Several strange and apparently meaningless sticks protrude from the front walls. The door is open and you cautiously walk inside. Slumped over a table is a bulky figure, apparently asleep. Your entrance disturbs the creature, and it raises its head, sees you, and springs to its foot. Rather than legs, it has a single stump, something like a tree trunk. It bellows loudly, and your translator does not translate. Hold up our hands to show that we mean no harm, or draw our phasers and shoot. No, let's try and be peaceful about this. Let's show that we mean no harm. Let's not immediately go in guns blazing here. The creature settles down. It was apparently just surprised at having been woken from its sleep by complete strangers. Yeah, that is surprising. I agree with you. And such ugly ones at that. It explains that it is a Timol, Well, apparently now we're translating, so that's good. At least we can understand what it's saying. It's a Timol and seems to be quite a friendly creature. It hops around the room and offers you food and drink, which you politely decline. This planet is a settlement planet, populated by all sorts of different aliens. At first, mainly creatures who could not bear their own home planets, and those that are highly adventurous. As the planet proved to be a pleasant place to live with a gentle climate, it was not long before word spread throughout the galaxy of the promised land of freedom and equality, attracting many more settlers. The problem was that no one was allowed to assume a position of responsibility. Everyone was entirely equal. The result is that after many years of settlement, the place is in utter chaos. Its inhabitants have not even decided on a name for the planet. Well, I just spent like 10 minutes naming things, so if you want me to name your planet, I would be 100% okay with that. You explain your own predicament to the Timol, how you are lost in a universe parallel to your own. The creature knows little about astronomy and interstellar travel, but suggests you head for the planet Kulmatter, as its civilization is very advanced. Okay, I wonder if that's the other populated planet that we saw. You thank him for his information and leave. Head for the main building at the end of the road, or beam up to the ship to travel onwards. Well, why don't we make that decision next time? And until then, I'm Dave. Thank you, as always, for joining me in the wee hours, and we'll see you next time.